Those precision airstrikes, you can't count them out either as we get this beautiful overview of the city, some of the highest points of the map. I know I've sat on top of that building holding people out on rotations before, and you know our teams are going to be doing it here today. But if I'm Hisoka, I'm Skullface, and I'm Mayapo, I am throwing down no small mistakes. I'm taking every precaution for any precision airstrikes that are looking my way, and I am going to show out from the rising stars of Warzone to the World Series of Warzone here in Mazra. We got game 2, baby.
Starting off yet again, taking some early shots. Nico Infinite, Brolic, this squad, one of our qualifier teams, back at it again with a new third instead of Frozone. Brolic is a great pickup, moving over from Mutex's roster. And speaking of a roster too, I think they're playing in person at Optic Arena. I don't know what that rotation was, Daft. That one hurts though. Running out in the open, full team of 3 on a building. These early gunfights are going to come back to bite you because you're going to be working on stabilizing for the first 5-10 minutes of the game.
Well, at least they're staying consistent to the drop spot locations that you were talking about, right? You have to know exactly where all that cash is coming from, and these have been the priority areas on drop. You want to hit the cash registers, grab the cash off the shelves, and from then work on prioritizing grabbing your loadout, because, you know, if you're not going to be landing near strongholds, which are likely going to be a little more contest heavy, that is a safer way to get moving. Sure, you might have to contest one team with some pistols, but we jump on over. Brolic, Desmond, well, you said water. It's not a water zone, but we're going to hold some people out with it.
Yeah, we'd love to take a look at that circle when we get a chance to. It looks like Tricky Rick, Studley, Dr. Drummer landing over here by Caves with exact in time. Where is Doug is Raw? That's the big question. This is a fun trio that kind of came out of the woodwork, came out of nowhere. Doug is Raw played with Karma last time around, and well, let's just say they didn't do great. I think 48th overall, but joining up with the likes of Exact, who also didn't have the tournament of his life or anything. Nice man Isaac and Lucky trying to reverse some of that luck.
Every time I see Exact, I just think of the time that I went into the most insane gulag of my entire life and he won. Dr. Drummer able to grab the knock onto time with the full. Now Exact gonna have to clutch up in a big time way, and I know he's got the gunny because I felt it firsthand.
Yeah, this will be tough. Studley and Dr. Drummer, though, lacking plates from what I could tell. Might let Studley go down. I don't know. Here's the circle. Yeah, not so much centrally located there, Tiff. The circle pops back up. It'll be bottom right of your screen is what we're airing towards. So likely you're going to see some teams kind of hang out in airport. You already see Team 6 hanging out there, which of course is Team Locksteel. That's a squad that's already in theoretical right position for near end game, but anything can happen. It's Warzone.
That is true. Anything can happen in a battle royale. We got a little bit of RNG. We saw Locksteel going down early because it's going to be DBZ that is at airport with them as we keep watching this engagement here. Team Exact still trying to make something happen. Doug is Raw is back. Able to grab a knock and a full onto Dr. Drummer. Meanwhile, Huskerrs on Rational and Scum and still facing some definite issues for that early game. And speaking of issues, Studley trying so hard, able to full one member of that team, put them down to a team of 2 before going out. Not a bad way to do it. Bonk, Future, Yeet over on the right-hand side of your screen. Looks like they're pressuring out another team, making their rotation as someone flies in overhead.
Yeah, Bonk Squad is a fun one to talk about as well. Everybody always says, well, they can't get enough kills to make it. They always have placement, and they're here to prove us wrong. They got 17th in the qualifiers for stage 2. They replaced Stellar with Yeet, who came over from playing with OP Marked and Devious. So it will be fun. Sorry, Shaded Step. Devious jumped into that third. OP Marked's team did not make it through stage 2 qual, so their right changed. But IQ Arrays, right, a team that maybe surprised those that don't know them well. Some young guns, well, some young guns, some old guns on this team. IQ, a young gun that's making waves in the content scene, is in a tough fight here in the middle of this building. All 3 of these players are storied Warzone players. Got good Kim as well, and finding one. IQ in trouble, raises there to play follow-up. Does get the trade. The boys, they've been playing together since Verdansk, one of Twitch rivals way back in the day. And nice trade, albeit we've lost a life.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's what we're talking about, that chemistry, knowing how your teammates are going to play, knowing when you need to come in, grab that trade so you can mitigate the loss of life, and then knowing, hey, do we have the cash immediately to go ahead and hit that buyback? But Classic Pain Zepti, you know, on your screen, trying to make something happen over here. Samixi, though, got knocked by Sitrep and just got her vengeance back onto him elsewhere.
This is a fun fight if we stick with it. Solidify Rhea as the winners of the qualifiers. Yet watch Waldo saying, I think we can third party, gentlemen. Let's creep on the bridge. I love it.
Counter UAV. Now Waldo's here to play. Rhea is that young gun. just turned 18, finally able to compete here in the stage 2. But you've got to watch for Waldo.
Yeah, it's a great third party. It looks like Solidified and Riaz are a little bit pinched here. Zepti, Classic Pain. They've got a decent high ground position, at least Pain does, but I don't think they're gonna be able to do too much. Now, here's my big question, Tiff. Is this the curse of the top seed from qualifiers? Like,
it might be.
This is a talking point. Riaz's team didn't have a great start last map. They're doing okay. They're in like 20-something, and now they're getting pushed by a full team of 3. Not gonna be able to win this one. Hopefully, the third can get out of dodge, but the top team from Qual solidifies here. Oh, Xenon's here as well. Just flew back in. Wait a minute. They've got a chance. Track goes down. It's a 1v1. Talk about a curse. Maybe it's a reverse curse. Swing it back. Prove me wrong here.
Daddy in an F-Tac siege. Can it be enough for Watch Waldo? It's not. Xenon absolutely annihilates them, and that was what you needed. The perfect timing of coming back in from the gulag. And, you know, I've had the chance to randomly queue in with Xenon, and dude dropped like 30+ kills in the resurgence, and I was like, all right, legend.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is that guy, right? And then my chat was like, oh my god, he's like TikTok famous. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, great, love that for him.
He's like one of the ultimate thirds. There's a handful of people out there that can play with anybody. Xenon can play with anybody and fry out and play a fantastic role. Has won some things on small lands over at Comic-Con or otherwise, and excited to see him continue to compete here today. That'll be a fun team to watch, of course. But you called out Riaz's age, obviously a very young player. And, you know, I was talking about the curse of the top seed as we continue to see some more encounters here in the graveyard. I think the top seed from quals, aside from EU Stage 1, none of them have qualified. So we need to break that curse, like, now. And even the Stage 1 top seed didn't qualify for Global LAN yet. So we need somebody to step up and make some moves. Hopefully, Riaz's team can do that. Devo finds one, making this fight a little bit easier. Hopefully, grab the res.
Should be able to make it happen. Let's see. XL there, still over towards where that buy station typically is. Smoke and run here. Devo gonna hit the reload. Does have his loadout, which makes things different. I still love that the Cronin Squall is in the meta for this. Now it's just fully auto, which makes it a little bit more unique for me. So I can't hit my single shots, bro.
Tiff, believe in yourself. You can do anything with confidence. That's what the kids are saying these days. Let's swing over. Here's our top seed from stage 1. Currently still inside the top 5. A solid game 1, even despite getting 3rd, 4th, 5th partied on the edge of mountains. A little bit of unlucky zone pull. They're still going to make waves, though. Looking to find a fight here. Rated not around currently. So it's going to be Aydan and Adrian fighting Rayskis in Hollywood. Rayskis stepping in for, I believe it was Nadia, who originally had the spot.
Big fight then. 2 eliminations thus far for Aydan. Not really pushing the issue here for this engagement. They're safe. They don't have to go out just yet, but we've seen a lot of teams looking for the perfect setup to take a fight, especially with Rayskis having ultimate high ground on the other building.
Dongi, Nofo, Vonbot, Dan called him out. They had a great stage 1 performance, made it to 9th overall, looking to better that or at least maintain it. Top 15 going to Global LAN finals in London. That's what you got to get. Looking for about 12.8 points per game on average. Nofo and the Co looking pretty strong today. But interesting spot here on the rooftops. This is one of those spots, Tiff. This could be a fight that goes on for 5-6 minutes at least, with 3 teams all around, but all on rooftops. Just a look at that map, though. Some of our teams favoring Albagra Fortress, looking at Airport, going to South. There's still a sizable amount of teams, though, on the northern side of this map that are likely going to have to rotate down. But again, it's Warzone. Anything can happen. It can start pulling back up to Shireen Pass.
Yeah, you've got Team Zlaner, aka DBZ, that is just on the outside of the airport, kind of running that shoreline. They won that engagement in airport early on and kind of remained supreme of that team that had it. But we have to start looking of what are they assuming that this is going to go towards, right? You've won your fights, you've got your loadout, you have obviously mortar strikes that are going to be boot. You just want to keep people off that ultimate high ground, and if you, okay, you're taking ultimate high ground. That's what we love to see. Tap and Nate Dog, they were within the top 3 based off their performance in map number 1. That 2 right there, the duo that went up against TBE in that end game. But Destroy is ready to shoot fish out of the water.
Yeah, this is a tough spot to be in this early. Like, we're already hiding in the water. There's still 41 teams left, but swing back over to Nofo, funding in the counter. Does trade out 1, does be able to get a follow-up here from Bonbot, and pushing the equation to Elo. Elo's gonna back up. Nice self-revive to stay with an advantage. Should be a 2v1 here if their third can't get here in time. Looks like trying to rush over, at the very least fly over and give some aerial comms.
Keeping out. This isn't a bad area of the map to be in. It just gets relatively open when you're going to be thinking about the rotation you're going to have to make towards airport, and that's going to be the hard part of it. But Destroy,
oh, yeah.
Let's get it. They are making moves over here.
Well, Tiff, here's the thing. DBZ, 14th overall, so just barely theoretically qualifying if stage 1 was going to global lands, right? Like, they did okay. They did fine. This is exactly the place FIFA Kill was at yesterday, right? They qualified 14th in stage 1 in EU. They pushed all the way up to 5th. Will DBZ kind of like compound upon that success? Will it be the boon of spot 14 rather than the curse of first in quals? I think it's possible. I think this team is similar to FIFA Kill's team. They've got a lot of Kim, albeit they might even actually have more Kim. DBZ's been playing together for a long time, specifically Destroy and Clutch Belk, of course, played together for a very long time, convinced Z to pick up Belk, and they had a great run, especially late Verdansk, early Caldera, until things changed for a while where it was just Destroy and Zlaner. Now, back together again. They would love to compound upon some success, finally find that tournament win they've been waiting for a while. As we take a look at a different team, for Jace, one of your top slayers from stage 1, looking decent today. They had a solid map 1, nothing to shake a nose at, as they say. And Prospects found an angle here, Tiff. I'm not sure what he's able to do with it, though.
Yeah, we have Team Twitty on high ground to the right. Just gets fully eliminated now. When you've got the major squad coming in, that one map number 1 holding you out just a little bit, you have to start getting a little nervous. Tommy and Almond over on the right-hand side of your screen, trying to make some things happen, rack up maybe even more than 20 eliminations. But back to your DBZ conversation, they have rotated out, because last we saw them, Destroy was on top of the tower with the helicopter, and then I was immediately like, all right, well, they're doing work over here. That's a massive rotation. Do they think the zone is going to pull more that way where it makes sense for them, or are they just going to look for some more eliminations before getting set up for that end game? Because you can see on your right hand side of the screen the overall standings. Team Almond 45 points thus far, 40 points alone of that coming from map number 1. But once again, we have to beg the question of, where is Team Hisoka?
Yeah, it's a great question, and if we've got some people behind the scenes that can let us know if they're alive at all, that would be good to know. The winners of World Series of Warzone in 2022 back with the same squad they had before to win that tournament, struggling early in this tournament, but plenty of Warzone to be played. Mega's going to push the equation here and make sure Van Nucci is not going to be able to play plenty of Warzone in this map. 3v1. Sorry, bud. You honked at a gas station and said, come get me. I don't know what you want from me.
Hey, anyone here? Just want to make sure this is a little bit cleared up. I'm going to get some gas here. No, you're getting annihilated, kind sir. You do not hit that horn here in Al Mazrah. It's not allowed, especially with Licks here. Tapify and Omega holding that high ground. This is not a bad spot to set yourself up on, especially if you're playing for rotations out of Observatory or any of that nature. But Eno, check out Almond in the whip, pretty much encircling in on the prey as Tommy falls in, and just like that, should be done and dusted for that player.
It's sad. TBE's pushing a building. You're all alone. Like, it's just, you just lay down, like grenade yourself. I don't know.
Lay down. No, I'd be like, I would call my mom, be like, Mom, come get me. I'm scared. TBE's here.
Yeah, I mean, when you're driving a truck around, you're kind of avoiding some audio cues so that you can push in from multiple angles, grab the kill. Very well done, TBE, continuing to find kills. We'll check in with him later. You'll likely see them top 15 this map. Licks continue to play aggressive. I think this is something you're going to be seeing all day today. We've mentioned it multiple times. Birdseye is forcing teams, and allowing teams rather, to play super aggressive. Tapify trying to find Oak Boy and not able to do so. But a team like Licks, a team that has a lot to prove. We've talked to Juju in stage 1 who said the same. We talked to Rated today who said the same. We talked to Lennon yesterday who said the same. Confidence is key, Tiff. You've got to take every single fight with any advantage you can take, but take that fight knowing you can win it no matter who's on the other side. So as much as we joke about laying down for TBE, take that fight against TBE knowing you can win, because anybody can win a team fight in Warzone if done correctly.
I mean, that's exactly what it is. There's that med plate carry that you're seeing. So in the hands of Blast. So keep that in mind. Quicker heals for Blast and better reses as well as they begin this rotation. We thought this was going to be a really difficult area. That buy station back near the tower. TBE, we just witnessed them driving on the outskirts of the ring, cleaning some people up, and now beginning to rotate in as well. But just on the inside, they're relatively safe. Blast, Intex playing for the building in front of them. But it's going to be Invader and Co. just on the inside. So when you're rotating in for a bit of a sandwich, but Zlaner, they're going big here as well, looking for some space here on the outside of edge zone, trying to clean up as much as they can, but Destroy gonna get pressured.
Yeah, I would love to keep an eye on DBZ. They had an amazing spot inside a zone earlier, Tiff, like you called out. Then they went on the hunt. They started pushing the equation, and apparently it paid off for him. I think that was Destroy or whoever was showing first. I think they had like 8 kills already with 37 teams up. I mean, that's a lot. We're talking, you're looking for a total amount of point average of 12.8 per game. That's a fantastic start to this map. We're just now in 3rd circle. Like we're moving into the 4th. Like plenty of game to be played still.
Yeah, 18 minutes in, we had 30 teams remaining. We're on par for that. 16 minutes into map number 2, 36 up, 93 players. Clumsy on your screen. 2 eliminations, just about 1,000 damage. Not a bad play here, but navigating through some of these buildings, when the edge of ring happens around these styles, you'll see people kind of camping down in there, but you can't get away from Blast Intex.
Yeah.
They just deathballed them.
Yeah.
The entire team just got wiped. Thanos snapped, gone.
Yeah, body stack, body stack, body stack. It wins every single fight for the most part. There's edge cases, of course, but a great play there from Blast's team, a team that everybody's looking at to say, hey, maybe this is your tourney. Haven't had a lot of success at the very top of the leaderboard, but always in the equation. Speaking of in the equation, there they are. Hisoka, Mayapo, Skullface. Hey, they're playing, and they're having a great game. Skullface on 4, staring down the barrel at their fish inside of the house. Braxton's squad actually in a pretty decent position to hold this building. I think it's a very tough fight to take unless they get lucky with a precision airstrike through the window.
Don't even say precision airstrikes around this squad. We're not going to bring that up here, but go ahead and talk about how Jukies in yesterday's EU lobby was able to start outside the 30th place mark and then completely took top 10 after, then went to 5th place. That's what I'm looking at. And if any other team can essentially do that here in North America, it's going to be the one on your screen right now. The come up has been real. We talked about Rising Stars of Warzone back in the early days of Verdansk. It has been Hisoka, Skullface, and even Mayapo since the beginning of time. Sure, they've played around with their 3rd. Meanwhile, Skullface going to go down. Vanessa and Co need to stand up for that team, but here comes the push. 2 are going to swing, able to fully eliminate, but 1 member of that team able to get out of dodge, but pushes straight into another team. That should be a wipe for them.
Ideally, you win that gunfight without losing a teammate. If you lose one, it's not the end of the world, but those free lives come back to bite you. Think about having to stabilize again as a teammate, especially trying to buy their 3rd back with how many teams were around them. It's an unfortunate loss, but a good team fight win against a hard fight.
All right, E-Bates, DJ Moss, the hydrated menace of the squad, paired up with Z Smith, who has popped off in a lot of co-ed tournaments prior. Little 2v2 action, but I guess hydration isn't going to help you when you're going to get flanked from the rear. Got to watch out. Hey, Chocolate and Strixie are moving in. Now E-Bates fully turned around. He is an absolute IGL to its core. E-Bates has all the strats that I will not drop on main because I'm not allowed to. I'll leave that to Dandro.
Yeah, it's a tough fight though for Smith. Getting pinched, you get Shifty down below. You've got Chocolate behind flanking, some teammate on teammate violence. Chocolate and Z-Smith actually won a LAN in New York only a couple days ago, I think it was, for $5,000. So he's gonna be writing home about that one and saying, hey, maybe you give me a little bit more of that price pool than you originally did. But Shifty is able to kind of sneak out. He's going underground, so Z-Smith should be fine for now, but not in a great spot for in-game. Remember how important player advantage is for these final fights. 27 teams left. We're starting to get into those multipliers, and they are key to your success. We saw how close this tournament will get from the top to 15th spot. It might come down to less than 1 point.
Little bit of recon drone action here at the hands of Believe. They still have to rotate out, and it's not TBE this time. They've already rotated a little bit ahead, but now it's Team Aydan. If you're going to be surrounded by some top tier teams, you're making your journey a little bit more challenging. But if you get out of this scenario and take down a heavy hitter, that's got to exude confidence. Collect, though, running into some issues here on this rotation. The drop off after this building here, they're going to have to go straight to low ground. You can see Adrian from this beautiful free cam shot trying to find damage onto Intex, Blast, and Believe. But the redeploy balloon, there we go. Hitting the drone, go.
I like it. I like this wrap from Adrian. I think this is going to be incredibly tough to rotate on the ground. Look how many teams here on this edge of zone trying to push in. So instead, Adrian's going to try to fly over and hopefully not get shot out of the air. Everybody's focused on the ground right now. No one's shooting at the air with how many teams are in this area. 27, 23. Blast is having a hell of a game. He's got to keep up the pace. They need to make it into the top 10 to really secure a high value amount of points.
Bradman and Co, Joewo down on the left-hand side of the zone, kind of in a little bit of a valley. But with the issue of being in a valley, the moment someone peeks over the side, you will basically be shooting fish in a barrel. So they're going to have to find a way to rotate out of that rather quickly, because that zone is going to pull ever so more into the open. A little bit of a mobile buy station coming in for the end game. Collect. Sebas, Mr. Daft, and J-Devise just ahead of them. One drill charge to boot would be beneficial to utilize that here.
Yeah, Team 30 is a fun one. They had to make a last second, literally second before Game 1 substitution for Valid Hands, who's not playing today. Sir Taylor is going to step in and take charge of that team, so we'll see how they're able to do given the shakeup in Kim. Smixy sitting on 5. An incredible interview with Dream. We'll see if that bodes well for her. Blast is out of here. Squad 23, a fantastic start. Did make it to top 15 or so, not to the top 10 that I shouted out, but still a solid game for Blast Squad. Watch out for that team on the leaderboard. You're likely going to see them inside of top 5, but look at Smixy, flanked, attract, all alive, albeit edge of zone, rocking that sniper to try to grab some early entry flags. They have to win this gunfight here and free up this rotation, or they are going to be in trouble.
Yeah, but even if they get this rotation just out of this building, they need to find some kind of cover to play for just a little bit, because they're going to have that uphill rotation, and that is going to be so challenging. I don't care if Attract has the Signal 50 in his hand. You have to play the best rotation I've ever seen. Restock, smoke grenades, hit your shots with that Signal 50. And just before this entire Stage 2 tournament, they were talking about, what is the Signal 50 loadout? What is the best one? They're like, I don't know. Bredman's got his loadout, so I wonder if they went with Bredman's loadout for the Signal 50 here.
Big game. Attract on 6, flanked on 3. That's at least 9. Smix was on 5. I think that's 14. Count them.
That's a big game.
Hey, look, it's Russ in the ground grabbing a free kill on flank. You hate to see that when you had a 3-person player advantage. Now you're down to 2. Still a solid spot to work with. You're going to have to creep in with a lot of solos there in the woods. After losing 1 and hopefully grabbing this res, they've got to be checking corners. Look who's ratting out. Soka, Bush, Wookie, McGee looking for a free pick, and will get it. See you, Smixy. Or sorry, Track. Smixy last alive for her squad and now in trouble. Both get knocked. See ya.
Attract was able to get that self-res off, but Smixy didn't have one. Now Hisoka going in, but it's going to be Vincent who's able to take him down. Keep an eye out. The duo that is still alive. Ebates, and then I jinx it because Z-Smith goes down, but where is Ebates? Because that was not a full elim. He's all the way on that western side of the zone, but Squad 38 here, Omen, Rob Easy, they are a duo. So the question is, can Vincent rotate in, take minimal damage, and Ebates, will you be able to just hide behind the loadout? No, you get cracked. You cannot hide from Omen. Wow. This is going to be a big game for them as they turn their sights towards Vincent.
2v1, V1 turns into a 2v1. Vincent on the low ground has a little bit of a hill to work with, but Rob Easy pushing the equation. We're winning this. We've got stuns. See you later. Rob Easy grabs the victory for his team. That's 4 from Rob and a massive map 2 victory for the team on screen. Very well done, taking the high ground position, winning the gunfight. I will say that looked a lot more free and clear because Soka was able to full wipe Smixy's team. Smixy's squad was in a great position. Soka said not today.
Yeah, that was a really tough rotation coming out of that last building in the marshlands, knowing that everything is uphill and you only have like one kind of spot to get up there. But let's run that victory moment back.
Let's fucking go.
Fuck yes!
I'm on.
That's what I'm fucking talking about, bro! Tell me the fuck up! Holy shit!
Fucking shit, Rob. Let's go, baby.
Fucking
Team Omen, they are juiced and jacked up. They are ready to go. Very well done. It's a 20-point game. That's real solid. Nothing insane, but they played the zone perfectly and they grabbed a map victory. They're going to be in the equation for London. There's no question about it. Will they be able to have the consistency, though, Tiff? That's the question.
Hey, we said that yesterday in the EU final.